was on my mind at the time being. And I just want to say I'm really concerned for the direction that, in particularly, black women is going, let alone women. But I'm really worried about the direction that black women is going, especially with this lawlessness mentality that they don't have to listen to anybody, that they don't have to comply with anybody, and then always finding themselves being caught on video in uncompromising or what would say embarrassing situations. Now we all know what happened last week. I don't know if it's still going. I got a lot of people and friends, you know what I'm saying, and associates in the Houston area, but it did pretty much go, viral with some of the videos that were being posted online and different social media sites about how, in particularly, black women were dressed at the Houston rodeo, where you just seen a lot of women post videos, pretty much making thirst trapping videos, dressed as if they were going to the strip club, or even worse, the blade, the holster, or whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, when they get called out, they're saying that people are on them. Why are they being singled out? It's because they're black. People are jealous of their body, and all that kind of stuff. Well, that could be true to a certain extent, but that doesn't make it right. And this is what we talk about women not wanting to have any type of accountability. And then this mentality that black women display on a regular basis where you can't tell them nothing. And even when you try to have a dope conversation, they turn around and attack you. They call you all these goofy names. They come up with these fake labels you to make you feel bad about trying to hold them accountable and basically trying to have a dope conversation with them. See, I don't fall prey into that bullshit about, oh, you're sassy, oh, you're this, you're that, because that sounds stupid. I don't even I don't even play into that. I'm not gonna let anybody make me feel bad or make me feel guilty if I'm basically trying to have a dope conversation with you and saying, hey, this wasn't cool what you did, you know, and then they'll say you argumentative. So basically, if you disrespect me or you do something to me that bothers me, and this is the mentality that they have towards black men. They only refer to black men as sassy if we basically try to hold them accountable or call them out or basically have a dope conversation about something that we feel might have been disrespectful or they may have been in the wrong. They don't call white men sassy if a white man holds them accountable. When they use that word sassy, they're referring to black men. That's a label that they have put on black men to try to emasculate us and try to shame us as if we're not supposed to have an opinion about anything or if there is no value into what we think or our words have no meaning to them. Like I said, it's always a guilt trip with us about everything. Everything. They try to shame us about everything from how we eat our ice cream to everything. What type of car we when you got women saying that you might be gay if you drive a Mercedes Benz, that got gotta be the most absurd thing I've ever heard in my life. And like I said, black women have played a very pivotal role in the destruction of the black family household and the destruction of the black man in general. I'm just keeping it a buck. I know people gonna say, "Oh, please don't generalize all black." Listen, I'm not generalizing all black women, but black men get generalized every day by everybody. And when they see our women tearing us down, it makes other races have opinion of us, just like they starting to have an opinion of black women. Black women seem to be the pinnacle of a lot of, you know, uh, I'll just say this much: they lately have been the pinnacle of a lot of discussion. And when people use that ridiculous terminology, black fatigue, in all likelihood, they're referring to black women. And a lot of people, and I predicted this was going to happen. I said if black women didn't change their ways, that people was going to start like pointing the finger at them. In case you don't know, we all know this situation at the Houston rodeo, but then I can go back even further. This mentality where if you say something to black women, they get upset with you. My thing is, if you the type of woman that don't even want to have a conversation about anything, where you just want to be able to do whatever you want without anybody speaking to you about it, then you showing me that you're not a mature person. But I can go as far as where you started to see a lot of this happening, this mentality that we don't have to listen to anybody, we're lawless, and we definitely don't have to listen to the opinion of a black man. um Many of y'all remember the incident, that's funny, from Dallas to Houston and then to California. Now, in case y'all don't remember, back in 2020 or 2021, keep in mind, during, 2020, when everything was shut down for the most part, Texas was one of the states that primarily started to open stuff back up relatively early. Maybe after 2 months, Texas just started to gradually just start to back in stride, where California took pretty much well over a year, far too long for a lot of people's life to start to go back to normalcy. But there was a restaurant in Dallas that was owned by a black man. His name was Kevin Kelly, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, it was a mid scale. I'm not gonna say extremely upscale, but it was a decent restaurant. So basically, what happened was a group of black women. They came in there. They had a DJ. Nice. I don't even know if this restaurant is still open. Hope it is. And basically, you had black women trying to turn it into Magic City. They basically dancing and shaking, twerking on the tables and all that kind of stuff in front of everybody. Keep in mind, this is a restaurant and there's other people there, other groups of people there, other customers there. Basically, he asked them quite a few times. He told them to stop dancing, stop twerking. And after several attempts, basically, to defuse the situation and respectfully asked him to stop doing that in the restaurant, he basically had to tell the DJ the music, and he basically had to make an announcement: "Hey, respecting my restaurant. I've asked you several times. You still probably audio or the actual video." He asked him several times. He said, "Listen, I'm trying to run a respectable business, especially for black people. I've asked y'all to stop twerking and basically um, causing a scene in my restaurant. If you don't like how I run my restaurant," he said, "you can get the fuck out." So of course, oh my god, oh my god, and these women were playing the victim. "Oh, you can't talk to women like that." After he asked them several times, he asked them several times in a respectful way, and this is what you get in the community. Even when you try to be respectful, they just disregard what you said. Disregarded them. And then you had people making videos actually coming for this, attacking this dude, playing victim. He didn't have to talk to them like that. He warned them several times, asked them several times. And that's the thing. You can't. I mean, you can't win for losing when you try to be respectful about the situation. Say, "Hey, could you mind?" Just disregard you. They have this. "Oh, I don't have to listen to you, especially no man, especially no black man." because black women been conditioned to not respect or value the opinion of a black man. So you saw people like Cynthia G making videos attacking Kevin Kelly. You saw quite a few videos attacking this man, talking about boycott his restaurant because he was disrespectful to black women, but they was disrespectful to his establishment, a black-owned business. I guarantee you, if you did that at Roof Chris, you know, and they did the same thing, you wouldn't be calling for a boycott of Roof Chris or what other upscale restaurant you may go to, which I think to a certain degree upscale restaurants. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not paying no 100 and no $300 to eat at no Roof Chris, and that's just bottom line. You know, well that's well my point is proven. Most women don't even listen to their daddy because they've been conditioned not to listen to a black man. Period. Because they seen how their mother used to try to undermine the father. And this is why black women, and you just proved my point. This is why black women are ranked dead last and married. Uh, Single motherhood, multiple children by multiple men. And I mean, somebody got to tell the truth. Somebody got to say this. And I'm coming from a good place. It's not that I'm bashing them, but I'm just trying to give them warning. But this is what I'm talking about. So, like I said, they attacked Kevin Kelly and all this kind of stuff. The turkey leg hut, which is no longer in business anymore. They tried to issue a dress code. Hey, we don't want you wearing bonnets. We want you to dress appropriately. Just don't look like you headed to the strip club or the Blade. So, of course, some woman, some black lady takes her black ass there and walks through the whole entire restaurant butt naked. But once again, you wouldn't have did that at a white owned or a non black owned restaurant. But you do it to a black owned establishment because you don't want to listen because nobody can't tell you nothing. They only get mad at black owned establishments. So they get mad at the people at the Houston rodeo. They told people that this was a family environment. But of course, you want to get hits on social media, you want a thirst trap, and then you get called out. Why is everybody coming at me? Why is people saying nasty things to me? It was white women that was dressed like that too, but who was the majority? Y'all already know how this works. It was far too many of y'all to where people was complaining. Y'all were the ones on camera. Y'all were the ones making pre-videos, pre-rodeo videos, how you were dressed. So that means you did it intentionally and you were letting people see those. Now, there were quite a few people that were dressed appropriately, but I was seeing some of the dances. I was seeing some of the group dances, and some of them women, once again, they were dressed. And then the thing, let me explain something to you. Just because we're making a request to y'all and we're not trying to tear you down. And just because we ask y'all to be respectful and we trying to have a dope conversation, you shouldn't try to question our sexuality. Once again, if a white dude holds you accountable and calls you out, once again, these are labels that they only put on black men. If we challenge them on their BS, if we call them out, we the only one. Let's just get the shit out in the open. Those labels they come up with, sassy and gay and all that kind of stuff, that's labels that they on black men. They don't do that to nobody else. They don't do that to nobody else. They only do that to us. They only come up with them labels for us. You know, you sit up there and say, "Hey, can I talk to you about?" And you say, "Hey, I don't, I just wanted to point out that I feel like that wasn't cool what you did." Or even if you say, "Hey, would you mind not doing?" It turned into a beatboxing contest with black women. But if a white dude say something to them, like I said, they only attach those labels to us. That whole sassy and all that kind of stuff. They don't be talking about when we call them out. So as far as the Houston rodeo goes, yeah, there were people that wasn't black that was quote unquote dressed inappropriate, but who was making all the highlight reels? Because who went overboard with it? Black women. See, what you have to understand is there are some extremely racist people. And when you keep being the butt of, you know, media scrutiny, when you're always the one getting highlighted, you play into the races. You give them and you help solidify a lot of their talking points about what they say about us as a whole and what they say about our women. This is why black women have this reputation. This is why black women have this reputation as being thought of as being easy, being whores, being, just a good time, not a long time. You can look sexy, you can look cute without having to look like you headed to that you work at a strip club or you headed to the Blade. That you are what we used to call the hostro. And then these behavior patterns that you seeing with them, they going every time you look around, you seeing groups of black women fighting, whether it's at spring break, was that whatever. It's them. It's always them getting caught on camera. Do other people do it? Of course. And I've talked about that, of course. But it gets tougher and tougher every day when you always seeing women from your community on these type of videos. And like I say, I don't play into that whole stigma about black fatigue and all that stuff because I didn't had non-black fatigue and particularly, uh, you know, the white man, fatigue for ever since I've been on this earth from their antics and some of the things that they done to us over a 400-year period. But in case you guys don't know, you can look it up. And this is and here's the thing. I notice when the brothers, when we go out group, you know, when we go, and this is why a lot of restaurants is finna stop that separate, bill stuff between four people because of this type of stuff. But whenever I went out with the homies before we even sit down and eat, I'll be like, okay, everybody, you know what I'm saying, cash at me. Everybody cash at me or give me your money and I'll put it, you know what I'm saying? I'll pay for it with my card. But in case you guys don't know, a couple of days ago in LA, I don't know if this restaurant was black owned. I think it's called Zaya. But the chef, the head chef is a black lady. I don't know if it's black owned. People say it's black owned, but a black owned restaurant in downtown LA. But nevertheless, a brawl broke out, and here's one of the women, from what I see, that was taken to jail. Look at her. If you look closely, typical tattoos all on the arm and all that kind of stuff. But in case you don't know, there was a restaurant called Zion's where basically six women ended up stabbed. Two of them got arrested, Um, the other ones had to get treated for medical injuries, and they're looking at major charges, assault with a deadly weapon. So they looking at some serious. One of them might be going to prison. And you know why they had a fight to where people ended up getting stabbed and hurt and all that kind of shit? Because they were at odds with the check. Basically, somebody didn't want to pay their portion, or they ran up a tab, and then they tried to do who knows what the tab was. They ran up, they got $100 worth of shit, and probably tried to only add $20. And next thing you know, all hell broke loose in the restaurant. And I'm pretty sure they have this on video, and I'm pretty sure eventually the video gonna be released, and everybody is talking about it. And then they said the people possibly that was involved in the incident may have even been related. Real talk. This is why I don't like doing. Like, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't go to places unless I know the person. And some people said, well, maybe the person should have just picked up the slack. Here's the thing: pay your own way. And this is what happens. You do have that one person that'll try to get over. You order $100 worth of shit, but then you only want to put 20. You want to put 20. You only want to put 20 down. Or some don't want to pay. Some don't want to pay it all. Oh, she got me. Oh no, I don't. Oh, you not gonna pay? Oh, I thought we no. And then that's how it starts. Yeah. Well, no, I haven't heard about that, and that's just plain stupid. But this just proved my point. They had issues with the bill. They had issues with the bill, and all hell broke loose. Up, police had to come down there and everything. You would have thought that the restaurant would be held hostage. Police, paramedics, fire department. And then, of course, you look at other videos, you got every white supremacist, undercover racist saying this stuff. See how these animals are? It's gonna get if this keeps happening, it's gonna get to the point to where people are gonna be only allowed to exercise this racism towards black people. Because that's what I think they're going for anyway. This should have been already established. But then these are the same that's talking about they boss bitches. More like broke bitches. Freeloaders. Always got that one person that's plotting to get over. That's gonna try to come near, get a meal, and then try to get up and try to skate up out of there. Just like these some of these women that go on a date with you and they try to run up a $200-300 tab, knowing that they ain't gonna go out with you again, but then they basically trying to get a expensive meal out of you. And this is why dudes, as far as the dating pool go, this is why dudes are electing to go overseas, go anyway. Just saying, the hell with this whole dating shit anyway, because it's just, the juice is not worth the squeeze. And to a certain degree, it's not even worth picking the fruit from the tree anymore. And this is just getting way out of hand. This is just getting way out of hand, and I'm really concerned what's going on with black women and this new surge of violence they have and rage they have in them. Then again, they've been made to believe that. And the feminists, the Me Too, and a lot of these other fake feminazi groups, they destroying our women. And this is why it's getting to the point to where, and like I said, this thing is going global. This is going national. And now they're actually having this discussion. They're actually having this discussion about black women. They're actually starting to say, hey, this is why these black men are growing up the way they are now, because they have these type of women for mothers. They're having whole discussions. I'm seeing people talking about, yeah, yeah, this is why I don't. This is why they're actually starting to say now. I see why black men don't date women in their own community. They're actually having that conversation. But of course, black women are gonna they're gonna attack me. Somebody gonna come on this stream eventually because they ain't got the guts to come on here while I'm doing live stream. They gonna come on here talking shit like they always do. Yeah, I've been. Hey, it's bad even when you know it's bad even when the bull daggers is coming for these women. And this is what I've been trying to say. I'm really starting to look at these type of women. Like I said, look at her arm. Look at her arm. Tattoos. I think it's weird when I see women that got more tattoos than men. I'm seeing way too many women with tattoos on their face, on their neck, and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, man, you want me to talk to you? Just to the point I don't even talk to women that got. Listen, I don't have no problem with body art, but when you just got tattoos all on your arm and all that kind of stuff, everywhere, looking like a walking billboard, you showing me that you really don't value your body. Like I said, I understand one or two, but when you start looking like, you know what I'm saying, looking like the light skinned girl from Philly, the actress, I forgot her name. Oh, Chi Mac, I forgot what her name. She from Philly, got tattoos everywhere. Got a real woman, but she just got like after a while that stuff becomes an eyesore. After a while, it's like damn. It's like, am I with a woman or I'm with am I with a walking human newspaper? Am I with a walking magazine? Hey, hey, Adi, that's funny. That's funny that you brought that up because back in the day, like, right, I used to go, I went to Clarebud, even though I lived in the Acorns, I lived by I lived right behind where that church was over there. Okay, when I lived in the Acorns the second time, I lived on 10th Street. But then when we moved back to the Acorns, I lived on Adelaide. So my mother didn't want me to go to Lowell, or she didn't want me to go to Lowell. Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't know why. She didn't want me to go there. So I went all the way. I used to go to Claire, but it was so funny. After school sometimes, right? We would go to Berkeley and we would hang out by Berkeley High. So we'd be by the old UA theater and we'd be talking to the girl from Berkeley High. I'm just keeping, yeah, so that's true. Or we would go hang out by the Hayward Bar Station and try to get, talk to the girls that went to Hayward High. So that's true. I dated a girl that went to Union City High. Unfortunately, she was a serial cheater. But we'll leave that. We'll leave, we'll leave that alone. Oh, you didn't go to McClymonds? Yeah. Oh, you didn't go to McCall? Nah, Berkeley High was man. Berkeley High was straight. That's where the referee Kenny Bayless went to. Nah, Berkeley High was straight. Yeah, I know exactly what you talking about. Yeah, I went to Claremont. I went to Claremont. And I went to Fremont, and then I went to I went to East Bay Conservation Corps from 16 to 17, and then I got the good enough diploma. Then that was it. Yeah. So nah, but yeah, I get it. I get it. You just be walking around and you be like now you look at these women now and you be like, what in the hell is all this? Like I said, well, here's the thing, like I'm just telling you, just watching these women with all these like I'm just thinking to myself, do you know how ridiculous you gonna look at 60? I don't have one fucking tattoo. I don't have one. But like I said, you got women that got more tattoos than men. That's weird. And this is what dudes are saying. You know, if I'm a dude that's like in the corporate world and all that kind of stuff, and then they try to make it and say, well, you know, when you work at micro, okay, come on, man. I'm talking about the corporate world. I'm talking about like corporate affairs. Imagine yourself going taking somebody to Japan and stuff, or I'm talking about internet. I'm talking on you on some international. I'm talking about you on some multi-million dollar, possibly $1 billion stuff, exploring some multi-million or $1 billion entity, and your partner, you can't take them to a fundraiser, or you have to buy them an outfit that covers up pretty much, and then to a certain degree you can't, because to a certain degree you want to put them in an upscale dress, but then they got tattoos everywhere. You know what I'm saying, they got tattoos on their neck, they got tattoos all over their back, they got tattoos all on their arm, they got tattoos all over their thighs, and it's like, god damn. And then of course when you explain that to them, they get mad. Oh, this is my body. Yeah, but at the same time, you representing me. You're a reflection of me. If they look at you, then they look at me, they're gonna look at you again, and then they're gonna be like, I don't know about him. He date these type of women. They're gonna question your character, whether you like it or not. Stereotypes exist for a reason. Do they have some kind of truth to them? It depends. Could it be semi-true? Maybe. Is it all the way true? That's debatable. Like I said, I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say these are the type of things that they're looking at. And then I'm looking at this woman being taken away in handcuffs. Of course, these are the type of women that's trying to go to these type of places. I mean, listen, I'm gonna say this again to any woman that's listening. This is why men are just saying the hell with this. This is why men are ignoring y'all. This is why men are saying, which I'm gonna continue to talk about. This is why men are saying, yeah, take your ass to the beer. Matter of fact, go to the cocaine bear, because this is just not worth it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being with somebody and then like for real? But then you got women that be trying to do that shit, be trying to get over. So whoever these people was, one of them, one or two of them probably came there trying to freeload. I'm like, here, hey, it's like this. If you listen, if you only got $20 to spare, order $20 worth of shit. If you only got the 20, 30, $40 to spare, don't sit up there and get $100 worth of shit and then you think somebody's supposed to pick up slack for you. Now, If somebody, now here's the thing, this is how dudes get down. This is the difference between men and women. I done been in those situations where I say, hey man, we finna hit this spot, we finna hit this spot, we finna go here, we finna do that. If the dude say, hey, hey, I'm a little short, I just pay my rent, I just pay my car note, so I can't make it. Then that's when I say, oh man, I got you. Hey, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. Now, if you know what I'm saying, I got you. But then at the same time, if the dude, say he got you, don't go there and try to take advantage of the situation too. That's another thing women try to do. When somebody say they got you, don't go there and run up $200 worth of shit. Don't sit up there and eat more. You know what I'm saying? The person buy $50 worth of shit, and you buy $100. I mean, you get $100 worth of shit. That's what you call trying to get over. So, but most of the brothers, they know the assignment. They come there, they get something simple. A woman, you got to be careful when you do that, because some women gonna take advantage of the situation. This is just factual. So, oh, what's up, Big Chris? Of course, you can use this for a highlight reel. So, of course, but that's what I'm saying. If a dude tell me, hey, tell, what I'm saying, listen, bro, I can't make it. We finna hit Laura. I'll say, hey, bro, we finna hit the Monkey King. We finna hit the Monkey King in Alameda. By the way, if y'all ever visit the Bay Area, go to the Monkey King in Alameda. That's the best Chinese food restaurant, probably one of them in the Bay Area. So I say, hey man, we finna hit the Monkey King. Or we finna go to whatever. Wingstop. We might go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We may go to Everett Joe. If dude say, hey, Town, I'm a little short, like I said, I just paid the rent, the car note, or whatever. If I'm like, all right, bro, I got you. Come through. Just come through. I got you. So, but like I said, a dude, he's not going to try to get over. He going to try to keep it minimum, where you might have that woman that's going to try to take advantage of the situation. This is factual. This is factual. So whatever transpired at that restaurant, I already know what happened. I already know what happened. One of them broke holes came near, and they tried to run up a tab. Or they over ordered what they should have been trying to get, and then they basically expected the other person to pick up the slack. Basically, they was on a $40 budget, and they ordered, like I said, well over $100 worth of shit. If you only can afford a salad and a soda, get your salad and a soda. Don't sit up there and try to get steak and all that stuff, or steak and lobster pasta, and then okay. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so like I said before, that shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't have happened. I already instantly knew. And when they basically said what happened, once again, 6 people ended up getting stabbed and hurt. A couple of people went to the hospital. A couple of people got arrested. Really terrible situation. All right, you guys, appreciate you being here. I'll be back with more later on. Probably gonna do one more live stream in about an hour. I'm gonna talk about this Stephen A. Cam Newton and Jason Whitlock dynamic. Peace.